Shalom and welcome to another episode in our series called Journeys with Paul. I'm actually trying to find a less windy location on the top deck of our cruise ship as we sail past this island right there, the island of Samos. It's actually mentioned in the book of Acts chapter 20. We're going to be talking about this island as well as the end of Paul's third mission journey in this episode. Stay tuned. Book of Acts chapter 20, it tells us that Paul was at the end of his third missionary journey. He was sailing back to Jerusalem for one of the festivals. This last leg of the journey places him first of all at Troas, which is north of us, then to Assos, then to Mitylene, then to Chios, and then to and around this island that you see behind me. It's the island of Samos. From here he then goes to Miletus further south. Now we just went through this very narrow pass between the island of Samos that you see behind me, and I'm going to turn around so that you can see this little portion of land that belongs to Turkey. This is a very narrow pass through which we are traveling. I think it's a good chance that the Apostle Paul also sailed through this pass between what is today mainland Turkey and this island that you see behind me, the island of Samos. Paul remained faithful to the message. And certainly with the conclusion of his third journey, that didn't mean that he was done sharing the good news of Christ. He was simply on his way to Jerusalem. He would then end up sailing to Rome and then venture out on what we could call a fourth missionary journey. But with this island of Samos, and all that we're told in the book of Acts is that one day he was at Chios, and then the following day Samos, and eventually Miletus to the south, also on the coast. But Paul remained faithful, and that's such an encouraging thought for us as we remember that Paul endured a lot of trial in terms of the difficulty and how his message was not received well by most, both Romans and Jews alike. But again, as we take a look at our last little portion of Turkey behind us, this was the pass. In fact, maybe through this glass you can see with me behind my shoulder this very narrow pass, this body of water between Turkey and, once again, the island of Samos. Paul remained faithful, and that's a great thing to celebrate. He did not water down the good news. He continued to share his faith not only in Jerusalem, not only in Caesarea for 2 years of confinement there, but but even as he would eventually sail to Rome and then venture out on another trip before the mid or later 60s when he would actually die in Rome. So we thank God for the perseverance of Paul, the missionary, and there at Samos, perhaps he even shared, even though it was perhaps even less than a day, while here or sailing around the island. Here in all over Asia Minor, Paul remained faithful to the task of sharing the good news. So be encouraged, and may we be inspired to do the same. Until next time, shalom.